Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Simply Celia Cross Stitcher. I am not participating in the floss mask this year, but I'm stitching and I have something to show. So this is my finished cross stitch book. So I have several finished cross stitch that I fully finished in prior years as an ornament, and I went through them and I decided to remove them from their original finishing and transfer them here. And a few of them also are cross stitch that I've finished that I have never fully finished, so I've added here. So I got this idea from watching slow stitching. I don't remember the name, but I watched several, and they are making like a soft, a cloth book. They call it slow stitching with several embroideries and whatever they put, like fabrics, vintage stuff, and just slow stitching, no machine use. And this is what I did with this. It just gave me that idea that I can also fully finish my cross stitch that way. So this is what I've come up with. Before I started this video, I actually attempted to put a ribbon across because I thought this is just so boring. I wanted to have more of the decorations, but when I did that, I decided to unstitch it because it just doesn't sit right. I mean, I should have done it before, should have done it before I closed the edge, so I can just fold inside and hide the edges of the ribbons. It's too late, and I unstitch those and just be contented of what I have come up with initially, which is this look. So for the cover, this was a cross-stitched ornament that I've completed several years ago. If I can check, it says 2015. I covered the date. So I fully finished this as a circle, but the circle wasn't really perfect, and I did not use a nice cardboard, so the circle was off. It's just ugly. I mean, the finishing was ugly. The design is pretty though. I mean, the cross stitch design is pretty, but my finishing was ugly, so I decided to just remove it from the original finishing and put it aside. And I thought it's a perfect piece for this cover. And the rest of the cross stitch inside this book are had the same fate, that I finished them and end up really disliking my finishing idea and remove them from the original finishing idea. That means cutting out so close to the design, and decided to just, instead of putting them in a scrapbook, which some of my cross stitch finishes are put in the scrapbook, I decided to put them in this book, and I'll just call this a cross stitch book. This is my second one. The first one was a tiny book that I have incorporated several junk stuff, including my unfinished cross stitch. Yeah, if I can find that video, I'll link it somewhere in this thingy, but I just used the cheap muslin that I found around, nothing really special, and I just did the blanket stitching around, and I decided to use the color of the thread that matches the fabric so it won't stand out, because originally I wanted to focus on this, but I did not measure it. It's off-centered, which it's fine, it's handmade, so it's off-centered. I don't want to unstitch it because I already put so much stitching to attach this, and I just added this lace around because it just to cover the edges, because I cut this so close to the design. So yeah, even my ribbon is not centered because when I did this, I did not measure. I'll just added ribbon and eyeball it, and so my eyeball is actually not right, not calibrated right, because it's off-centered. But yeah, I think that's the beauty of handmade, right? So I'll just use the same lace. I got this lace from Hobby Lobby. So I'll just use that as my closure. And just the end of it, I just tie a knot. And here's the first one. So I just write down it's a stitched book 2 because I've made the book 1 the small one. So I thought it's best to just put book 2, and then I added even my dates are not the same. This is very handmade, guys. December 2025, and I put my initials there. So this was an ornament that I finished before as a stocking. My stocking was a little bit not good, so I chose this as a candidate to put in this book. Right now it is stitched on this. I actually use Peltex, which that's why this one is too thick. Each design has a Peltex stabilizer and it's really thick. I should have used one, but you know, when you're doing some project and you're not thinking a lot, or not really thinking, well, I mean, you just do it as because it's a good idea, but it's actually not. So it's 2 Peltex, it's thick. My hand were really tired after doing this project. Yeah, I just added that. It is cut so close. I just keep the edges like that and added joy there because, you know, it needs something there. And I don't know what this means. Maybe I thought it's probably a hook. I mean, have no idea. I think this is a herringbone stitch. I have no idea. I'm sorry, guys. I just stitch whatever, I embroider whatever. And if you can see that, I just added those stitches there because I don't like to look at this, the gapping there. You know, I did not follow any instructions on this. I'll just make this on my own. So I like the idea of it's not neat, and I think that's what I'm going for. The stitches are off in some, they're not even. The imperfection of this project is what I'm going for, because this should be a hobby and I'm not selling this, so that's why. That's my first page. Second page is this one was fully finished as a pillow. I kept the original front of the pillow. It has this and that, but I added when I removed them as a pillow, I added this embroidery just to decorate this part, and I added this part too. So I no longer, if I can help it, I don't like a pillow ornament on the Christmas tree. Maybe in dough bowl, but not on Christmas tree. But yeah, I think this one in Just Cross Stitch magazine. This one is from a really old Leisure Arts leaflet. This one is from an old magazine, and I did not fully finish this. I stitched this and put it aside, and I didn't know how to fully finish that. So this time I put it here. It's 2015. So I added this snowflakes buttons, and I added this stitching over here. Added this. There's no design really. I just added whatever I want to add. So that's it. Next, this one. I think I framed this at one point when I finished this, because I finished this in 2009 and it was a new home, but it is no longer my home. I sold that home in 2003, I think. So it's no longer relevant. So I put it here. I think I attempted to put like the fabric just to create a little contrast. The fabric are not cross stitch color, I mean Christmas color, but it's fine. And all this I just added to secure the border and make it look nicer, I mean, or messier. It depends on how you see it, but I see it, the messier it is, the beautiful it is for me. All those not so perfect stitches are beautiful. Next, this one, I fully finished this as a really small plastic circle gold thingy, you know, when you get a kit from old kit. And I used that frame, gold frame, plastic frame, and I really don't like it anymore. Like, you know, I don't want to put it in a Christmas tree. I don't want to throw it away. So this is how I saved that design. I think this one, I designed this. I did not follow any pattern. I just make my own. So this is my own design, and I added a little bit of embroidery. And of course, these are not Christmas because I don't have really Christmas buttons, but I'm just using whatever I have, and I thought this is a cool addition. So just a bunch of flower buttons, and this is like a ribbon, and then I put like French nuts as flowers, and I added beads just to have a little bit of something there. And all of the, I just want to point out that all of the edges I put a lace there because it was raw and I didn't like the look. So in that, I wrapped the edges with ribbon. Yeah, and make sure that the thread I use is the same as, I mean, the lace, so it won't show. And I think I like it better, it's more finished. And next, this is a combination of small cross stitch project. This one, I don't remember how I fully finished this before. Finished in 2013. Maybe I finished it as a circle. This is actually part of a big design that I decided not to continue. So I'll just cut them out and added them here. This one is a finished, but I don't want to do an ornament for this. It's just too simple. So that's why I created like a 4 square and have them there. This, I've showed this in my prior videos. I finished this in a frame, I think, and I just didn't like it anymore. So I mean, they didn't want to keep it like that, so I removed them from the frame, put it here. I just added all of these stitches around. Just, you know, I like to use contrasting threads, just, you know, I'm not hiding the stitches. Stitches are part of the decorations, that's why I use a very bold contrasting threads. Yep. And then this, I fully finished this as a pillow, a long pillow, but yeah, unstitched it and put it here. So I added blessed. My B and the D are not looking. It looks like 6. I don't know where I got the font for that. And then I tried to add some kind of thingy over here. So it's more of like a fabric, fiber art or something. I thought this is funny because I did some blanket stitching around and I realized it's not good. I don't want to do it anymore, so I decided not to do it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make another design. This is another thing, the same as the bird one. I framed this before, but I realized I really don't like to display them on Christmas Day. I changed my, you know, it's just not. So yeah, I like how I can add anything here. Doesn't have to be Christmassy. But at least I get the Christmas fabric here. And last, this is also a combination of that unfinished project, because I finished this little squares, so I added them here. I added some, this is just from the fabric because I need something there and I don't have a small design across this design, so I added that from a fabric cutout. And this I finished before. I didn't even like, I don't know why I stitched that. I don't like the design. For some reason I just stitched. I just want to stitch something and never really crazy about the design. So yeah, and the last is the back cover. So what is this used for? Nothing really. It's just like something that can, like a scrapbook. When you're done, then you put it aside. And then when you think about looking back, at least this is my way of saving my stitches that I don't need anymore. There's no useful reason, but just a collection, but just fun. A fun project to work that I have completed. I can put it somewhere for people to see if they want to flip this, and that's it. I actually am interested in making another book like this, but I think I'm going to do the ABC. So unless I have collected enough stitching projects that I don't like anymore, that are small. But the book 3 will be ABC theme, and I think I'm eyeing the ABC farmhouse. Once it is done, I'm going to create a book like that, like this one, but I have to prepare and have to measure next time and have to think of the cover as well. So this is my finished Christmas book. I'll just say Christmas book because they're all Christmas ornaments. And yeah, I know it's not that very pretty, but I think it's very it's like a junk journal version. I like junk journal. I have finished one, and this is a junk journal version in the cross stitching world. So let me know what you think. Is this a bad idea? Well, if it is, yeah, I guess, but I still like it though. So I don't know if I'll be able to post another video, but if not, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and enjoy your holidays, guys. Bye.